Hi, we're going to be looking at SQL, Structured Query Language, which is a database management language for relational databases, which is going to assist us to be able to retrieve information from a database and also manipulate information in the database. We're going to look at the simple structure of SQL. Select, from, where, order by, group by. Select whatever fields. We can also use our functions in here. From, the name of the tables. Where is for our conditions, example where age is greater than 21. Order by we use for sort, and group by is where we're going to group specific fields. Let's look at the first one. Select from. We have a table and the name of the table is TB students. So I'm just going to refer to it as table students. And we have four fields: admin number, name, grade, balance. That means how much they are owing. So our simple structure is select whatever fields from the table name. If we do our first example, we can say select name balance from the table name TB students. And if we look at that, what data will that generate? It will be able to retrieve the name and the balance from the entire table. And if we look at that, you will see that we have the names and the balances. Let's take another example. Select star from table students. If we say select star, it means this wildcard we will retrieve or get all the fields, all the columns, which is the entire table. So if we say select star from table students, we will get the entire table coming through. Let's look at some functions. We're going to look at some simple functions to start off with. If we say select sum of balance, we go to balance, it will find the sum, the total owing of all the students. And notice we say select the function sum with the field name from table name table students. Take another function, average. Select AVG, which stands for average of balance from students. It will go and find the average of the balance column or balance field. Count, select count of star from TB students. We can also put in a field name in here. But if I say select count of star from table students, it will count how many records we have here. In other words, how many rows. And in this case, it will be 8. Some other functions that you can look into: AVG for average, count. And notice I said count. You can either use the field name or you can use star. Max, which will find the highest. Min, which will find the lowest in that column or field. And sum. These are some of the basic functions. We do have other functions which we'll look at a little later. Conditions. So now we're going to bring in the where clause. Select from where. So select whatever fields from the table name, and where we can now bring in some conditions. Looking at the first one, select name from table students where grade is equal to 12. So the condition here is grade equal to 12. So what will take place is that it will select all the grade 12 students. In this case, grade 12 is John, Dlamini, and Paul. Look at another condition. Select name from table students where grade is equal to 12, and we're using two conditions. You can put a bracket here, which is optional. Grade is equal to 12 and balance is greater than 50. So if we go to our table, it will pick out the grade 12 students that owe more than 50. And if we go back, John, it will pick out Dlamini is below 40. It won't. And we have Paul. So we have John and Paul who are in grade 12 and owe more than 50. So we can use lots of other conditions. You can look at that in the handout that I've given you. Carrying on with conditions, I want to introduce the like. If we say select name from students where grade like 12, in this case we are saying where grade is equal to 12. So why not use an equal to? Well, the like looks for a pattern, and it is very useful if we're trying to deal with in finding patterns in a certain field. Let me show you. So if we go to select name from students where name like, and in quotes we put J with a percentage. This actually means we are looking for, from the name field, we are looking for everyone whose name starts with the letter J. And the percentage mean doesn't matter whatever letters are after that. So the pattern we're looking for J followed by any other letters, which simply means we're looking for those names of students who start with J. And if we look at our table, it will pull out John. If we look at this one, select name from table students where name like, we've got a wildcard percentage. Now we're looking for all students whose name ends with an N. Doesn't matter what's before the N, but the pattern is any letters as long as the name ends with N. And if we go to our table, we have Keegan whose name ends with N. So like is just quite good in looking for patterns. Look at some of the conditions, the operators we use when we're looking for conditions. We have an equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater and equal to, less than and equal to, which we have been using in Delphi. Between and like. So the like is new to us. Between, remember between is an inclusive range. It will include your bottom and top values. Sorting. Now the sort is quite simple. If you actually think of writing a sort in Delphi, it could be a nightmare. But with SQL, select from where, well, this is optional. We don't need to have a condition if we're trying to sort, but we can have a condition as well. Order by. So if we look at our example, select name from students, order by grade, DESC. So DESC means descending. So it will sort the table in, not in alphabetical order, but from the letter Z to A. If we don't want it in descending order, then we can ignore DESC. So by default, if we don't have the DESC, it will sort it in ascending order, which in this case will be alphabetical order. So if we look at this, you will notice that in this case we're saying select name from table students, order by grade, descending order. So this one is actually sorting not by name but by grade, which means it's looking from grade 12 down to grade 8. And if you look from grade 12 down to grade 8, this is what we're gonna get after it sorts because of the descending order. So if I want it from grade 8 to 12, ascending order, we ignore the DESC. If we look at the bottom one, select name from table students, order by grade, balance. We can sort by two fields. In this case, there's no DESC, so it's going to do it ascending order. It'll first do by grade, and if two students belong to the same grade, or if more than one student belongs to the same grade, then it looks at the balance. And you'll notice I forgot the first one, it came up now. Select name from table students, order by grade. This will sort the table according to grade in ascending order because there's no DESC. So it's a simple sort. So all we have to do is order by whatever field we want to sort by. Grouping. So we say select from where and group by. Once again, the where is not compulsory. So let's look at our first example. Before we go there, let me give you a note. Using a where with group by allows you to restrict the records before they are summarized. So let's look at our first example. If I say select grade, sum of balance from TB students group by grade, it now will not go and find the sum of the entire table. But because of the group by grade, it will find the sum of all the grade 12s, the sum of the grade 11s, the sum of grade 10, sum of grade 9, and sum of grade 8. So it's finding the sum, but it's grouping it according to grade. So that's very useful in terms of grouping the data and finding the sum pertaining to each grade. Thank you.